We got some stuff to unbox, guys. So we've got three things to unbox. We're going to be unboxing Death Stranding 2 on the beach. So that's pretty cool. We got this for PS5. But we also have, for the Nintendo Switch, we have one of the Street Fighter 6 Amiibos. So pretty cool. I can't wait to get this out of the box. These are really cool looking. And I also love the fact how good it looks. And you can actually see how big they are. We'll take a good look at that. And we have the I believe it's like the second form of Bayonetta from Smash Brothers. It's pretty cool. We'll take a look at them and stuff. And there are some more on the way too. But with that being said, let's get started. One other thing. Because I'm doing a lot of the stuff with the Nintendo Switch, I'm also getting started with what I call the Switch 2 wish list. I did a wish list a long time ago for the Switch 1, and then later for the PS5. And surprisingly, I got pretty accurate at what was going to come. It was just like wishful thinking, but there was a lot of thought I was putting into it. And some of them were like, I would really love it if these would come, but some didn't and some did. But anyways, we're going to do those again. And also because of the Switch 2's ability to basically upgrade the games, either through their sheer processing power or because some of them actually do have free upgrades and stuff, we're going to talk about those too. So, haven't decided what I'm going to do with that series. So, let's get to our first Amiibo. Let's do Bayonetta. So, pretty nice. There is two versions of her, by the way, just like there are two versions of Cloud and a couple of other characters. So, with that being said, let's get into it. And there's also going to be a Amiibo for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I've already pre-ordered that one too. Let's see what we got here. Of course, we have Bayonetta herself. We have this little information thing in the bottom. Here's the box. And here we go. So here she is in her little container and stuff. Pretty nice. We're going to do that and take her out. All right. All right, so here's the first thing you should know. Look there. You can actually see the Smash Brothers logo on the bottom in gold. This indicates that she's part of the Smash Brothers series. And we can see her design. She's actually very incredibly detailed, which is pretty cool when you think about it. Also, you'll notice that there's these little things at the bottom that are like little silicone that her feet, as you can see there, actually do lock into. And that's how some of these are done. They actually do this to where they'll have these little things here that they lock the characters into and stuff. And it makes sense. Um, as you can see here, clear plastic. And then we have on the bottom is all the Amiibo information and stuff. Really cool. And also, they just make cool little statues too. But the cool thing is, I can put this in any of the games, and we get certain amounts of information. I'm going to save Death Stranding for last. Now we have one of the new generation Amiibos created for the Switch 2 for Street Fighter 6. And I gotta say, already, the quality is just there. Of course, as you can see here now, they've gone up significantly in price. But in this case, this is we'll compare them against, she's huge. This is a gigantic Amiibo in comparison. Just to give you an idea, even, damn it, right, I'm missing, that is a much bigger box too, as you can see there, and basically about the same size in that, but much bigger. Bayonet is basically one of the biggest, so this is pretty cool. Now they do also have a a set where there are special cards you can buy for all the characters if you want to. But I like having the physical stuff, and that's pretty cool. All right, she's one of the new characters, so here we go. All right, like I said, she's pretty big. All right, if I can get her out. They also have the new ones for Tears of the Kingdom and stuff. So that's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Now let's slowly remove her. And you'll notice they also have this little reflective thing in here, which is designed so, nobody pre-logs her into their switch, which as you can see there is reflective. So that's pretty cool. All right, so here's her. And you can see just how incredibly detailed she is. The clothing, the environment. And look at here, her little pigtails. Ooh, they actually move a little too. That's pretty cool. And stuff. Her design. Oh yeah. She's got actual writing on the back. That's pretty cool. I love that she's got that thing. And look at that. She's got her little, you know, little Walkman on the side. And yeah, that is pretty much a Walkman. I'm old enough to remember we actually use those. And I love the fact that it's all connected to this unique smoke thing. And this is something we see with all three of the particular Street Fighter characters, and just the sheer amount of detail. And you'll also notice that you can barely see it at the bottom, but there is the Street Fighter logo. Yeah, right there. You can just make it out, which is pretty cool. Now, let's compare real quick. Here's Bayonetta versus her, and you can tell older series, smaller, versus the sheer amount of size. I mean, you're pretty much almost paying for the sculpture design right here, which is pretty cool and very well designed. I like it. It's very cool. So those are cool. And also, when I start playing Street Fighter 6 a little bit more, I've at least got one of the amiibos to go right away, and it's pretty cool. I wonder if she's got like the breakdancing kind of fighting style. Okay, now let's get to the game. Trusty throwing knife, and of course, Death Stranding 2. I would show off more right now, but unfortunately, um, the cellophane is like interfering with the camera, so that's not helping. And also, I think I heard something moving, so I've got to get in real quick and get here. Been waiting for this for a while. I was always hoping there would be some kind of an expansion for Death Stranding 1. So this is pretty cool. Originally, there was also going to be a big collector's edition, but unfortunately, they never released it. So here we go. Here's our cover. There's Lou, our favorite character, just stranding on the beach. And look there, PS5 Pro Enhanced. One player, all the characters and stuff. All right. Like I said, I thought I heard something. And oh my God. Oh, thank God. The disc is still there. Oh, and yeah, that's cool. Check it out. We have the pre order bundle codes right there. So they're in here. I thought they were on their seat. They're not. One second. There. Don't want to ruin my code. And we actually have something behind. I still need to take out the disk to see. And here we go. Check this out. Oh, now that right there brings on a heck of a lot more questions than I would think with what's going on. Okay. Well, maybe in what looks like some kind of cryo chamber, or that's a crib. That could be Lou right there. Either the way, that's pretty cool. It's going to be interesting going back in. We have a lot of returning characters and stuff, new characters, and I got to get this into my PS5 to get started and install. Mine's a Pro, so we're going to be enjoying ourselves. And it's all on one disc, so this is cool. Here's what the disc looks like. It's really cool. I have Death Stranding 1, both for the fact, well, let me take a quick look. I should still have my original copy. I should. As you can see, I have a lot. Yeah, it's right here. So this is my original Death Stranding 1 from the PS4 when it originally came out. Steelbook case one, and I have digital for the director's cut for the PS5, and I'll be buying another physical one just to be on the safe side. So here we go. And here's what it looks like for the PS4 in that original collector's edition. And I even have the bridge baby, so that's pretty cool. Soundtrack and everything. And yes, I did get the soundtrack. We actually did an unboxing, and that's what the steelbook on the inside looks like. Pretty nice. And no, I have not intended to sell this at all. So there's that. So yeah, I have got to get all this stuff started. It looks really good. I'll take my picture for the cover art for the video. Probably be this and maybe those two. Who knows? But it looks really cool. And I can't wait to do more stuff with the Switch wish list. And I really want to play this. I also found out that a company that is working with this was actually bought by Nintendo. Now, that would actually be cool. I would love to have Death Stranding on the Switch. Maybe I'll put that into a thing because there are actually more Sony games coming to Nintendo. Um, it makes sense. Sony's like, okay, we can make more money if we do what Xbox does, but we're going to do it over time. Pretty cool though. So I got to get into this. I got to play it. I'm actually more stoked for this than Assassin's Creed Shadows. I was dreading playing as the historically inaccurate character. I mean, Yasuke could have been great, but instead they messed him up. Just saying. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Tell me what you think of the game. Have you been playing it yet? Or are you one of the people who got it a little early? I waited for a physical copy. Like and subscribe, hit the bell for notification, or the tour gets you. Bye.